So guys, okay, so I know it's been like really busy and we're going to get to the part 3 now of our TPGP and your observations and things that you might undergo while you are teaching in your lifetime or even here at the CIST here in Tashkent. Okay, so what I want to look at is the rest of this presentation. So again, I will put in the notes on the whiteboard in here that this is where you guys can email me or call me or send a message through Telegram or WhatsApp if you have questions. Great. Okay, so here we go again. Okay, so the last time we left off on this. Which framework will we be utilizing? So this may or may not be something that the school decides to use, but if it's looking for digital awareness, it most likely will be something very similar to this. Okay, so there are 4 domains when we're looking at how well you're teaching under the digital framework, or the Danielson framework for digital awareness. We're going to be looking at planning and preparation, classroom environment, professional responsibilities, and instruction. Okay, so it's a lot, but it's not really a lot. Before they did the digital awareness, they had huge, big, amazing, huge, big, and amazing Danielson framework, which touched on everything. In the classroom, digital awareness, everything. But it wasn't really focused on digital awareness because, of course, before COVID, we weren't really online, and now we are. So, okay, we're going to talk about these. So, this is how well do you plan and prepare? Okay, so in your lessons, does it really demonstrate that you have knowledge of content and pedagogy? Okay, number 1B, does it demonstrate knowledge of students? The way you planned, could I go up to any one of your students and they tell me something that they learned today? All right. Does it set instructional outcomes? Here's your goals. Here's what you asked the kids to do. Did they achieve that result that you wanted them to achieve? Okay. You demonstrate your knowledge of resources. What is it that you utilized in order to teach? What was it that you utilized in order to plan and prepare to make this lesson exciting and fun? Okay, is your instruction coherent? Does it kind of really transition well? Does it go from dot to dot to dot to dot? Or is it kind of spacey where you kind of touched a little bit here, but you kind of forgot here, and then you went, oh, yeah, I went back to this, and does it make sense, or is it kind of getting lost in translation? And did you design a student assessment for the lesson, or what assessment form did you use for your student assessment? Okay, so this is how well do you, and this is your domain, your planning and preparation. How much time are you really taking to plan out a lesson? You know, I'll tell you, Miss Marissa's been a teacher for about 15 years plus, and it still takes me about a week and a half to really plan an exciting lesson for my students, because I don't look at just what the book gives me. I want to really branch out and bring in all these external integration into a lesson. So it's going to be even more than what the actual curriculum gives me as a lesson plan. It's going to really make sure my kids know what they're doing before we move on to another topic. And when you plan something, you really have to know your students. So really look at those progressive baselines. How did your students perform? How are you going to plan your lessons so that you differentiate all those different areas of learning? Because you'll find that even though the McGraw-Hill that we've talked about in our school now, and the platforms and the videos, sometimes that's not enough. Sometimes you have to dig a little deeper. So this is one thing that you're going to be tested on, is how well do you plan and prepare? Okay, Now you're going to be looking at the classroom environment. Now, classroom environment isn't just about decorations, okay? It's about everything in the environment. Like when you talk about environment of a house, you're looking at the furniture, you're looking at the people inside, the living, the non-living things, right? It's very sciencey. But you're looking at how does it run? How is your classroom displayed? What kinds of things and elements do you have in your classroom? Is it age appropriate? So there's different things here. So you have creating an environment of respect and rapport. Did we do that this year? Did we create an environment of respect and rapport? Are our classrooms showing a student-centered environment? Okay, are we establishing a culture of learning? What kinds of classroom procedures do we have in our classroom? Are there any types of charts or reminders to students about how to behave in class? Okay. The managing of student behavior. What are you doing in order for students to keep engaged and also to maintain the positivity of the rules in the classrooms and the expectations that you have? And how are you going to organize your physical space? What types of centers do you have set up? What instructions do you have set up? How is the classroom maintained or organized? These are all things that even though we're a digital school, we still have to really maintain these other aspects of the classroom, or therefore we've completely wiped out the classroom environment for domain 2. Okay, whoops, I skipped over one, didn't I? Yeah, I did, I guess. Let me see. Oh, there it is, domain 3. I swapped it. So domain 3 is all about instruction. How well did you communicate with your students? Use questioning and discussion techniques. Engage your students in learning. Use assessment and instruction. Now we're going to talk a little bit about this later when I talk to you about how to give your students assessments and the different types of assessments. But the reason I did this video first is so that you can kind of put yourself into your student spot by realizing that all of the assessments are somewhat related. They're just on different levels. Okay? So using assessment instruction and demonstrating your flexibility and responsiveness. Okay, let's just say our internet goes out. What are you going to do? Are you going to go crazy because there's no internet? It does happen. The lights go out. I was here last week, right? I got here 2 weeks ago. And last week, the lights went out. The internet was cut. What are we going to do? There's no internet, no lights. What am I supposed to do? Just sit here in the dark? What can I do in case the technology doesn't work? Okay, hopefully, inshallah, it works all the time, 24 hours, whatever. Okay, but what would you do to your responsiveness and flexibility in that situation? Are you going to have something on hand in case something happens like that? Okay, are you going to have something that the kids can work on based off of the Apple TV or whether mechanisms you are using in order to store information so that if the electricity or the internet does go off, that your students have something to work on, or are you just going to expect them to sit in the dark? Okay, all right, let's look at domain 4. And this one is very important because based upon how well you present yourself and how professionally responsible you are, the rest of these kind of all play parts. Okay, so did you reflect on your teaching today or the day before that? And does your lesson show that you reflected on your teaching? Did you maintain accurate records? Are you up to date on your students' corrections? Have you started their portfolio? Do you have things set aside to show progression and growth of the students? If parents came into you today and said, hey, I want to have a conference with you and see what else my child has worked on in the classroom, do you have that? Okay? Can you communicate with families? Are you going to just only organize yourself online and communicate with mom and dad through the learning management system? Or are you going to be able to take it another step, maybe do newsletters, or maybe you're going to send a note home to mom and dad through their platform, or maybe get even a little old fashioned and in a notebook write down what their child did for today. Or are you going to do a professional blog? Oh, today the children did this and this and this and this and this. How are you going to communicate with your families? It's very important. All right, you participate in the professional community. Are you doing anything out there that would help you participate in the professional community? Now, I use my YouTubes as a way to participate in the professional community. Okay, I do it so that the rest of you can give me comments and feedback on whether or not you want some other type of information to be told about, or you give me feedback on what you think I could do better, right? So this is a participation in the professional community. I'm on LinkedIn, I'm on TikTok, I'm on Instagram, I'm on Facebook, I'm on Snapchat. I'm all over the place online. So what are we doing physically in the community? Obviously, I don't speak Uzbek or Russian yet, so maybe I'm learning Russian. And that is one way I can participate in professional growth and developing professionally. Okay? It's how you participate in that professional community and how you grow as a person to develop your professionalism. Okay? And then when you demonstrate that professionalism, that's a whole nother level. So in your domain 4, when you're looking at your lesson plan, does it show that you're able to do all these things? Does it show that you went through all those steps when you planned? Okay, so this is what an excellent, amazing teacher who never makes any mistakes would actually get, right? But if you did make mistakes, what are you going to do to rectify them? Okay, so I hope this helps you understand assessments. If you'd like to see it with more clarity, or if you'd like to do like a professional development with Miss Marissa online with your staff, we can go more in depth and do more types of activities to help your staff understand. Okay, think of it assessment as understanding your own journey by participating in ways to self-enhance your educational expertise. Because once you do that, and once you figure out that assessments aren't scary and they're just a way to measure what you've learned and how you've grown, then you will actually love them. And you will be like me one day and you'll give another presentation on how assessments have changed your life. Okay? So, lastly, all right? Lastly, guys, this is the last. Miss Marissa has this one amazing thing that I do. And especially as a principal in previous years and an administrator at Aslam School in Zarat Oman and in Muscat, Oman, I had my ear in and ear out. I had teachers that were going crazy and bonkers. And some of them, Miss Marissa, I just needed someone to talk to, because I feel like sometimes when there's someone to listen as a teacher, even though it's as ridiculous as anything can imagine, you still have someone to lean on to, because a lot of teachers have a lot of baggage, and sometimes they bring that personal stuff with them to school, and it doesn't help them, because they're thinking back in their mind, oh, what am I going to do when I get home to do this, or what am I going to do when I get home to do this, and oh, I'm so tired and I have so much to do. Because teaching, let's face it, guys, we get paid less, we make less, and we work hard. Okay, so we do have things that we want to get off our chests that we don't really want to bring into the classroom, but then we feel like there's no outlet to do that. So then we end up spreading bad things in the school, and then it brings everybody down, and we want to just keep everybody uplifted. So I have a great policy, which I call my ear in, ear out. Okay, so if you ever want to talk with Miss Marissa, as always, if I work with you in a greater capacity, okay, and not just in the internet or YouTube, one day I work with you in an administrative situation. You come to my office, you come to my classroom, knock on my door, Miss Marissa, please, please, Miss Marissa, please. You're in, you're out, you're in or out. Okay, that's all you have to say. I close my laptop, I put my book to the side, and I'm here just to listen. You talk about anything you want. No judgment, nothing. I won't even write down anything you said because I know at this time you need me just to bounce things off of. You need to vent. And I don't take anything personally. I just go, whatever you have to say, I'm listening. Now, I don't tell the administration what you said. It's completely confidential. But if 5 of you come to me and say about the same thing, I'll make a mental note about it. When I do go to administration, I say, hey guys, you need to really think about X, Y, Z, because there are some teachers, and I cannot tell you who, because it's confidential, are really experiencing difficulty in this area. Because the administration, maybe even though they've got so many things going on, they can't always remember what you've said before. And even if you wrote it down, they get so busy that sometimes they forget to check their messages. So instead, it's better if they have me like a teacher's liaison who can go to them and say, hey, I've been hearing things from the teachers, and I can't tell you who because that's not my place, but it might be something you want to address to the entire staff so that we can rectify these feelings of not so great feelings, right? So, and this is the way I help you, because obviously if they hear me and they go, oh, yeah, Miss Marissa knows what she's talking about. Miss Marissa has an idea about this because she works with teachers one-on-one, right? So in that way, you can get off your chest what you need to get off your chest, and it won't harm the whole environment of the school community. Okay? So with that being said, if you need to get a hold of me, it's Marissa Green. My email is there. And this is also my webpage if you would like to visit me online. I do have other services. Right now, I have my Omani phone number on there, which I'm not using anymore because I am in Uzbekistan. So just shoot me an email if you're interested in getting any of the things I have written on there, and I'd be happy to help you. Okay? So have a great night. I hope to see you soon. And inshallah, we have a wonderful, wonderful rest of our week. God bless. Bye.